Welcome back. Joining me now are Lorelei, VerLee, and Hope Sheehan of the Creative Women of the World Retail Shop in downtown Fort Wayne. Thank you for being here, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, my first question is, who or what are the creative women of the world?
Well, that's a great question because we have creative women all over the world, but it is a nonprofit organization that works directly with artisans to help them develop a small business, and then we help market them. So we have the shop, and then we also help distribute in wider circles.
So starting locally, your
Yes.
shop is located where?
Yes, it's right downtown. It's 2 blocks east of the downtown library and right next door to J.K. O'Donnell's.
So it's on Wayne Street?
125 West Wayne.
Okay,
Yep.
so very centrally located.
Yes.
So starting, with that local shop and
Yes.
going globally, you are a fair trade organization.
Yes.
So explain to me, what is a fair trade organization and what makes you different from other ones?
Okay. Well, fair trade sometimes gets mixed up with free trade. Free trade is just a government arrangement. But fair trade means that all of the people that work get a fair wage for the area in which they live. They may not be getting the same as what we get, but they get a fair wage for their area. There's no child forced labor. There are no long, grueling hours in bad situations. They're respected, they're given dignity, and it's just a good place for them to work.
So it's really a way for these women to make a true living.
Yes,
Even
with
though-
dignity.
Yeah, and even though they're in an area that
Exactly.
may not normally
Yes.
be conducive to
Yes.
that.
So one of the things I wanted to mention,
Yeah.
though, is that we are different from some fair trade stores in that we actually do the direct training,
Okay.
and that piece is really important.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So the training, it's kind of twofold because the women make these beautiful products, but they also learn how to run that business.
Exactly.
So give me some details on that.
Yeah, Hope, why don't you talk about a little bit of the training and sustainability?
All of our products are focused on a couple of initiatives. One of them primarily is that we want to teach them as much as they can about utilizing what resources they have close to them. So like you see, this bag here is actually crocheted out of recycled plastic bags. These are materials that these women can get a hold of at a very low cost and the other aspect is to make sure that we aren't hurting the planet by encouraging them to manufacture something that they could sell in the market. So
And this is just absolutely beautiful. I mean, I knit a bag out of like recycled Scott's bags once, but
Yeah.
it surely doesn't look anything like this.
Right.
Well,
This
they
is
added some
beautiful.
touches of candy wrappers in there too, so
Yes.
it makes it kind of fun.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. So these women are learning the skill to
Yes.
run their business, and so the money that they earn from you purchasing these from them,
Yes.
that's turned right back into their business to
Yes.
invest in this training.
that's exactly right.
So that's a real step up because I know there are artists here who know how to make art, but don't necessarily know how to market themselves
Right.
and to
Yeah.
run that.
Right.
So Lorelei, how did you get started in all of this?
Well, actually, ever since I was in high school, I've had a passion to somehow combine art and mission. I was a child of missionaries in Japan and got this vision to somehow use the aesthetic that I had been surrounded with in Japan all my life to actually help people. But it wasn't until I was 56 years old when I was invited to go to Haiti, and I was so delighted to hear the stories that Rebecca was sharing. And I want you to know that I stood on that same place where she took her signature photograph. I was standing there looking down over those huts, and I saw a towel hanging on one of the lines, and it was the very same towel that I had at home. And I knew that I was connected to those people in a way that I needed to let them know they were my sisters.
Right. Wow, what a wonderful, wonderful story. So you have always had this interest. So
Yes.
how did you actually get it to creating this shop and creating the organization?
Yes. Well, actually, while in 2007, I was actually invited to go down and help start an artisan business. It was so ironic because all this time I'd wanted to have mission and art combined, but it wasn't until I got this email that said, we are looking for an artistic type volunteer to come to Haiti to start a greeting card company. And my heart about stopped because I had a greeting card company, and I was able to take those skills and actually train them on how to get that business started. It wasn't long, though, before I had lots of people from other organizations or other countries that were saying, hey, we need help too. So would you come help train us? And that's how it all got started. So a year and a half ago, Creative Women of the World was started.
So you started with the greeting cards, but
Yes.
you have a lot of other products as well.
Lots.
And I think each of these products have a story
Yes,
behind them.
they really do.
Tell me about where those come from, what those stories are.
We actually work directly with the artisans in about 4 countries, and then there are about 13 or 14 other countries where we work with organizations that work with them. And one of them is actually in Turkey. And this beautiful necklace is called an abolitionist necklace, and it has 27 tear-shaped beads on it. And this represents the 27 million women and children who are held in slavery today.
Oh my gosh.
But these are made by women who have been rescued from sex slavery. They go to a safe house and they put the key on the end because they say, we are their key to freedom.
Oh my goodness.
When we wear this, when we purchase it, we are making a direct impact on a global problem that is so overwhelming, and we feel like, what can we do about it? You can do this, and it really changes their lives.
Wow.
This one was made by women in Kenya, and they actually sign it with 3 little bone symbols, and the person who actually made it puts a red dot on it because each of the women that we work with in Kenya is HIV positive. They cannot show their identity because as soon as people find out about it, they refuse to buy from them.
Oh my goodness.
But we have helped them train in their business. They're making these things, and now they proudly put that on there because they're using the proceeds from their business to help train their own country in overcoming improper education about AIDS.
So you've got bags, you've got jewelry,
Yep.
you've got greeting cards. You know, what other
Yep.
products do you have?
We actually have this book too, and it's called Half the Sky, and I really recommend that people read this book because it has stories, one after another, of women who were in horrific situations around the world, but found empowerment to overcome it, and it's been phenomenal. So we do have lots of jewelry, lots of scarves, purses, lots of things, and we're constantly changing. Every week we have new things.
Well, and you have expanded from just Haiti to other
Yes.
countries.
Yes.
So tell
Yeah.
me about what countries you represent. You've just got back from a trip to Kenya, in fact.
Yes. So we do directly work with the artisans in Kenya. We also work directly with some artisans in Tajikistan, also in Mexico, and of course Haiti. And and I'm getting ready to go to Japan next Tuesday, and I'm going to be meeting with a group of women who are survivors of the tsunami. They are still living in temporary housing, but they are going to the beach every day and collecting pieces of china and broken glass and making it into jewelry.
So the debris that is
Still coming up.
from.
Yes. So it's just phenomenal what they're making. So I'm going to help them improve their distribution, and we'll have some of those pieces of jewelry in our shop at Creative Women of the World.
So why the choice to work only with women? Why is it Creative Women of the World and not just Creative People of the World?
It's an interesting discussion to have globally. The women in the villages, the women in the communities are the doers.
Yeah.
When you give women money, it stays in the home. First they feed their children, then they educate their children, and then their children and them stay to help and improve the community. The UN's done a number of studies, and actually am proud to say that both presidential candidates said the best economic policy is the empowerment of women globally. And it makes very good sense. They keep the money, they invest the money, and they keep improving the communities locally.
And so do these women encounter any special challenges, or do they have risks to doing this in their communities?
Yeah, they really do. It is a risky business, and the closest that I've come to understanding what that was is when I went to Haiti in July. Women don't have esteem in the home. It's something that we take for granted. We don't really understand what that is. In Haiti, this is a funny story I always tell people, in Haiti, they like to tell people when they borrow money, It's a very big deal. They say,
because they were allowed.
Yes, they were allowed. They were, and usually men are given that honor. They're acknowledged and they're asked as someone that has a number of esteem and education and has respect within the community. Women don't often get that role.
So they're business women down there.
They are business women.
Been an accomplishment for them. And part of your program is once you have training, and at the end of the training, tell me about the women actually get a...
Yes. The goal really is to be self-sustaining from the very beginning. And so part of after they receive the training, then at the end they would receive a grant. Now, when we talk about a grant, in our terms, we think grant money, there's a bunch, you get large sums, but $300 would feed a family of 7 in Haiti for a year. What women in Haiti do, and they call them Madame Sarahs, Madame Sarahs, the market women, and market women all over the globe, very similar experiences. They'll take $300 and turn it into $1,400 by investing and reinvesting in opportunity within their village. So it may start out with they become a market woman with salt and beans, and suddenly they become a person that is cornered the market in a very specific product that the village needs. So they know how to do that. It's short-term investment, and we're strategically small in our amounts because large amounts of money do a lot of damage in very impoverished countries.
Because they're forced to become more creative with this money and how to use it efficiently, to invest it efficiently.
And it goes directly to them. There isn't a chain. So we literally are delivering the grants ourselves in a lot of the cases, and we know what happens to that money, and we know where it's going to go.
So if somebody wants to get involved in Creative Women of the World or CWOW, what can they do to help, and how do they contact you?
They're welcome to call us at our shop. We have the phone number at the end of the show here, and we do have opportunities. But one of them is to actually help Haitian Artisans for Peace International, which is the group that we started in Haiti, by doing some of the finishing of the greeting cards that they make there. And then there are some other ways that people can become involved too.
We also are looking to expand our mission, and we potentially may be putting groups together to go to these different countries and to support the women. So there's an opportunity to volunteer as like a co-missioner. There's also an opportunity to support us and give us a financial donation as we try to keep these things going. So.
Well, it sounds wonderful. Lorelei and Hope, thank you so much for being here today. It's been a real pleasure. We are fortunate to have all that creative energy collected in one place downtown. I'm Melinda Haines, and on the next Arts Weekly, we'll chat with John O'Connell and Leslie Horman to learn more about the upcoming spring art, theater, and music schedule at the IPFW College of Visual and Performing Arts, and also about the IPFW Fort Wayne Youth Theater collaborative production of Oliver that opens February 8th at the Arts United Center. For up-to-the-minute arts updates, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and be sure to join us here live Thursday evenings at 7:30 on PBS 39.